Hello once more, and welcome to Staff Training, Day 2, Part 4. And in this part of the video, or the training, we're going to be discussing good facilitation practice. Because I think, particularly to the teaching assistants, and this will also apply to system administrators, because this is about human interacting with participants, is how do you do facilitation? What is good facilitation? Because it's not necessarily always obvious, and it's not a skill that not all of us possess, and it's something that we can all learn, I believe. I like to compare teaching to facilitating, or facilitation to teaching, because as I said earlier, I'm someone who was lucky to have a background in being a teacher or being a lecturer, and one of the things that I've always heard from students, not to me but to other people, is that you could be a great researcher but not a good teacher. And I think we believe that when someone is a great researcher or is a good writer, that they necessarily have the skill to teach, or rather to facilitate. And it's not always the case. So I think for now, I just want to quickly compare, in my view, and rather the view that I found. Let me take my mouse here. The views that I found, check out these videos at some point, not now, obviously. My mouse doesn't want to, right, okay, here. I'm going to kindly ask you at some point, not now, because I think we're watching this video and we're completing these activities, that when you have time, go through Facilitating, Difference Between Facilitation, Teaching and Lecturing by Sam Kellerman, and he nicely captures what I'm about to say now. And you can also read selemi.com, Facilitating versus Teaching, because I think they're not diametrically opposed. However, they're very different. In there's a lot of similarities between them, but they're very different as well. Because I think teacher is I'm standing in front and I'm telling you this is what is the knowledge, and facilitation takes on a different approach. So teaching, you lecture from the stage, so you're in front of a board, a projector, and you are speaking to students. So you're providing information in one direction. So it's, I am the bearer of knowledge. I'm the conduit or channel through which knowledge is delivered. So you stand there either as a lecturer or whatever profession you have, and you're standing in front, usually to a group of people watching you and listening to you, and you are giving them information, so they're absorbing from you instead of a two-way street. It involves telling other people instead of letting other people figure out for themselves. So you do say 1 + 1 is 2, and 2 + 2 is 4, -1 is 3, and you're not even, there's no, obviously there's space for questions, and I don't want to demonize, I don't understand like I'm demonizing teaching, because I'm pro both. I do both. I facilitate and I teach as also, and I think they both have their own strengths and spaces. But however, for IBT, we're going to require that you become a facilitator rather than a teacher. Although the name is teaching assistant, and I know it might be a bit confusing in that. Teaching often means answering questions yourself instead of listening to your participants' answers. So it's, again, because you are the channel through which knowledge is delivered as a teacher, you tend to, teachers do listen as well, but this is what on Selemi they argue and Sam Killerman argues, right? So obviously there's differences here and there. However, in most cases, teaching involves these qualities over here. Facilitation, on the other hand, means using practical participatory methods. So it's, again, as I in earlier videos on day 1 of the training, asked you to sit in circles, try and have a sense of equality going. This is what facilitation tries to do. It's more participatory instead of being top down, so it's much more bottom up and equal. It means making sure information flows in all directions. So you, as a facilitator, you are willing to receive instructions, or you to be challenged, or with other views and ideas. You're willing to take them into consideration in formulating your own thoughts and ways of being. It means encouraging and valuing different views. I just said that. It means considering participants as being equal. And I think it's quite hard especially in academia or in spaces where we are taught to revere and respect. And respect is important, but I think whereby certain people would wanna, because of their titles or positions, feel as though they're more deserving of respect than other people. And I think we're trying to move away from that. The participants deserve your assistance, they deserve your respect, and you also deserve their assistance and respect as well, because I think we want team effort. And I think a good facilitator is able to make students feel, or participants feel and know that they're equals, that although yes, they're not teaching assistants and they don't have the knowledge in bioinformatics, their views matter, their questions matter. It means asking instead of answering questions yourself. So I had something the other day where someone was like, at the end of every facilitation, they don't ask what questions, do you have any questions? They rather ask, what questions do you have? And I think what they meant by that, it's by saying any questions, people do feel intimidated to ask anything. However, if you ask them what questions do you have, it means you're assuming that they have questions, and that they'll be more comfortable to inquire and ask questions if they do have. What makes a good facilitator? So this activity is going to take, like all the other activities, mostly, it's going to take 10 to 15 minutes. Think back to the training that you have been involved in as a participant. So what workshop did you attend? What lecture? What, any form of training that you've been involved in. And so it's obviously going to be different for different people, but just try and picture yourself, like go back to a point in time where you attended a conference and there was some training involved, or whatever training that you attended. And I believe that we all here, we've attended some sort of training. So please reflect on that. What characteristics, make a good facilitator? So that's gonna depend on you, on your own personal view. What characteristics make a good facilitator? Take 10 minutes to brainstorm ideas in your group. Again, remember to select the scribe in answering this question. So what characteristics make a good facilitator? So you're gonna ask yourself, what was good about the facilitator at your training that you attended? And as a group, you're gonna then have a scribe who's gonna write them down. Select the top 5 characteristics of a good facilitator. Upload these characteristics as a post to Vula. Go to the IBT stuff, question for 2018, go to question and discussion forums. What makes a good facilitator? So there's a topic there that what makes a good facilitator. Click on that and then type this up as a scribe. So for now, I'm gonna kindly ask you to quickly or kindly pause the video and do this activity now. Resume video once the activity is complete. Look for some inspiration from the Gulbenkian training program in bioinformatics from Portugal. And yeah, just take the 15 minutes that you need as a group and as a team to complete this, and resume video once activity is complete. Okay, welcome back from that activity that you just completed. Now I just want to speak about facilitation skills, and we're going to be discussing this facilitation skills matrix from the Goblet skills matrix for trainers and facilitators. Again, it's important for teaching assistants and system administrators as well, but this is going to be mostly for teaching assistants who are going to be assisting students with practicals and assignments that they're going to be doing. So Goblet is also a global big trainer in bioinformatics and different genomics training that they offer. So you can go to their website just to see what they offer. If you want to know more about them, don't do it now, but just at some point in your own time, you can Google Goblet. So now there's 4 skills that are important in facilitation. One is communication. Verbal communication skills, written communication skills, and presentation skills. So I think those are the 3 skills that are under communication that you need as a facilitator. Expertise and knowledge. So you do need to know the subject area, right? You do need to be aware of visa applications and knowledge of training methodology. Planning and management. So you need to plan your sessions. You need, obviously, this is what they say is the general, rather, 4 pillar principles and skills that are needed by all facilitators. But for you as a teaching assistant for IBT 2018, I think for me, the 2 or rather 3 most important ones are these ones. Although all 4 are important, I think training engagement is important. So you need to be flexible in delivering your assistance. Empathy with trainees. You need to be empathetic. That means putting yourself in someone else's shoes, remembering that you were once a participant, you were once a student, you were once on the other side. Understanding the knowledge of trainees, so knowing where they are, where they stand as participants, instead of just assuming that they're on a certain level, just ask them. And obviously, again, as we stressed before, we need to have planning and we need to have time management as well. But I just want to say, none of us, no one in the world has all the 4 skills in perfect form. We all have to improve. Hence, we constantly have to look at what makes a good facilitator and what skills do they need so that we can actually learn for ourselves. The quick difference that I want to use, or sayings that are out there, at Sage on the Stage, which is what we're trying to step away from. So Sage on the Stage is like a teacher. I'm standing in front and I'm teaching you, and students are even scratching their heads because they're confused. So Sage on the Stage is like standing there, like I'm bringing knowledge to you. It's a top-down approach. Again, as I said, and we're trying to avoid that with IBT. With IBT, we need you to be a guide on the side. When a student is busy doing module 1 or 3 and they're reading and they need assistance, you come here as teaching assistants and you say, let's guide you, let's read with you, let's assist you, and let's not be condescending in our approach. So I think you can read more on this side about the difference between Sage on the Stage and Guide on the side. And again, we're trying to be, or rather need you to be a guide on the side. So this is not just for teaching assistants, as said. So although yes, most of them are going to be the ones, or rather teaching assistants are the ones that are going to be assisting students with practicals, it's important for system administrators and all other staff as well, because facilitation skills are about communication. So being able to not just be a public speaker, but writing, having good email etiquette, being able to answer questions in a respectful manner, being able to public speak as well. I mean, this is one of what I'm doing now is a facilitation skill, and I think I'm also not perfect. I have a long way to go. So everyone can benefit from improved communications in their interactions, and the more you do it, the better you become as a facilitator. Now, I'm going to ask you to kindly watch Day 2, Part 5 of the video, and thank you.